start point of this particular war was this Pahalgam terror attack. So is terrorism a rational act of warfare? I don't think that's a marathon act because terrorism had no defined logic. It had no political military end stake. Terrorism is a means and an end in itself. Terrorism is a form of warfare that defines rationality. This is because the terrorist doesn't have anything to lose. He's a non-state actor. He doesn't have a say. So if he doesn't have a state, he's not worried about territory, people, or the ideology, which form the three important constituents of his state. So it's a reasoned kind of a decision the state takes, and so as our adversary is concerned, he's taken the decision that to bleed the area by 1,000 cuts. And when I say that this has been a state policy, this I'm not saying. If you go and look at the literature on issues, you will find Peter Sharp, Kristen Fair, who have cited former director generals of ISI, explicating this particular strategy as to how they will date India by 1,000 cuts. And this particular doctrine is found in various studies in Pakistan, staff college, etc. So this is a novel talk which happens in past. And of course, officially we know in the 1965, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto declared a 1,000-year war against India when he agreed the United Nations Security Council. And probably they formed to this particular doctrine of 1,000 years war. And someone adding that and this 1,000 cuts into it. Although locked by Pakistan on 10th of May at about 1 a.m., its aim was to get down Niger to a siege in 48 hours and multiple attacks were launched. And in some manner, they had escalated this conflict, which we had actually taken with terror targets, but also in the military domain. From their perspective, if it had been rational in the sense, they would have said that you use military means to these targets. But it was also rational on their part. Operation with their court, they'll continue for 48 hours, folded up in about 8 hours. And then they picked up the telephone and said, hey, we're to talk. And I think that the rationale behind this the blendation coming in, stand from two facts. That one is they must have assumed that if they continue this mode, they're likely to lose Basson. So hence they picked up the telephone. And second thing, since they had stopped us at multiple fronts, they still did not have the benefit of understanding what they had stopped. So they must have thought they must have stopped, and hence they tried to talk now. And if they told, they intend to lose both. So these are the two factors which would have made them take. But along with it, what did we see? Did you see elements of this or beach roots of this in Operation Sindhu? Yes. And to us, I would say that this was the kind of first non-contact warfare which we fought. We didn't see each other. We saw it either in radars or at different ranges, except for what was happening on the line of Karbur. And it was a mix of kinetic and non-kinetic. When I say non-kinetic, that happened in the information domain, that happened in the cyber domain, and of course, there was a kind of operation where destruction of the each other, as related to Operation Sindhu. What we see is, in this particular thing which happened at Pahalgam was profound cruelty, of which to the poor victims actually, because all of them were killed with headshots in front of their families and their children. And they were slaughtered in the name of religion, which is kind of unacceptable to this modern world. And this caused a huge revulsion in the society. So there was kind of hatred. And of course, it revived memory because India, this is not a single act of terror, obviously. These Western nations may have as one or two acts of terror. It's a cultivation of terror acts. And maybe, India has been the victim of the maximum terror acts. Almost 20,000 people have been killed. So amongst the emotion which was being evoked in the people of Crimea was about revenge, retribution, and this was getting in to get the perpetrators to justice. So that I think was plague in everyone's mind. That's a kind of an emotional public sentiment which was having.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV18 on all the social media platforms.